Did you know that the Golden Knight was the first champion introduced in Clash Royale? You were able to activate the King Tower with his ability. Stick around to see more fun facts about every card in Clash Royale. Let's kick things off with the most famous and cheapest card, Larry. The first known instance of the skeleton being called Larry is believed to have come from a popular Clash Royale YouTuber named Orange Juice Gaming. In one of his early videos, OJ humorously referred to the skeleton as Larry, and the name quickly caught on with his audience. This playful nickname spread through videos, streams, and forums, becoming part of the game's culture. Although Supercell never officially acknowledged the name, it became an enduring part of how fans refer to the skeletons. Is it getting hot or it's just the fire spirit warming up? The fire spirit used to be part of a trio called the Fire Spirits, where 3 would spawn for just 2 elixir. However, after a balance update, it was changed to a single fire spirit for 1 elixir. Electricity in the air. Yes, it's Electro Spirit's turn. It's the only permanent card that hasn't received any balance change since it was released. Well done, Supercell. It's freezing. Close the windows because Ice Spirit is coming. The Ice Spirit can be humorously linked to the phrase winter is coming from Game of Thrones. When deployed, its freeze effect can halt enemy troops, effectively saying, winter has arrived. Last and least in the Spirits family is the Heal Spirit. The Heal Spirit replaced the original Heal spell in Clash Royale. When it was first introduced, it provided a burst of healing to nearby troops upon impact as well as slight damage. Did you check your face in the mirror today? When the mirror card was first introduced in Clash Royale, it allowed players to play a card at 1 level higher than their maximum card level. However, due to its low usage, Supercell decided to buff the card by increasing the level of the mirrored card to 2. This change allowed players to deploy cards like Golem, P.E.K.K.A., Sparky, and even Rocket at level 16. But, this powerful effect didn't last long as Supercell reverted back to 1 level higher. Moving to the 2 elixir cards, the Goblins. When the Goblins card was first introduced, it spawned 3 goblins for 2 elixirs. In a subsequent balance update, the card was changed to spawn for goblins for the same 2 elixirs. These goblins has ancestors, which are the spear goblins. In the German and Dutch language setting of the game, the spear goblins name translates to spear kobolds. In the Spanish, Arabic, and Vietnamese, the spear goblins name translates to duendes with spears, spear ghouls, and spear-throwing leprechauns respectively. Moving to Larry's family, the mini giant skeleton, the Bomber. He started with the 3 elixir cost in 2016, but in 2021, Supercell decided to reduce it to 2 elixirs. It's getting dark, and bats are waking up. When bats were first released in Clash Royale, they were planned to cost 1 elixir in the game files. However, right before their official release, Supercell made a last-minute change, reducing their cost to 2 elixirs to better balance the card. In later updates, the card was changed to spawn 5 bats instead of 4. Ouch, that hurts, I was zapped. Zap holds a special place in Clash Royale history as it became the first spell to receive an evolution. Its evolution marks a major milestone for spells in the game. Be careful, a huge snowball is coming your way. Giant Snowball is the only card with giant in its name that isn't a troop. The Giant Snowball was originally meant to deal direct damage, but it became famous among pros for its knockback effect. Another ice card, the Ice Golem. Unlike his counterpart in Clash of Clans, he merely slows down enemies upon death, rather than freezing them completely, and he will slow enemies only after death instead of slowing them. He has a slightly different appearance in Clash Royale. Moving to the Barbarian Barrel. The Barbarian Barrel is essentially a hybrid between a spell and a troop. Just like the log, it rolls through the arena, dealing damage to enemies in its path. However, instead of just knocking back troops, it spawns a barbarian upon impact, allowing you to deal damage while also gaining a solid troop to help control the battlefield. Speaking of unique combinations, let's talk about another crowd favorite, the log. The log is featured as a character skin for Spike in Brawl Stars. A very dangerous and underestimated card comes in, the Wall Breakers. When Wall Breakers were first introduced, they used to cost 3 elixirs. However, due to their limited effectiveness and usage rates, the cost was reduced to 2 elixir. 1 second, I'm thirsty. Oh, what's this elixir drink? That Christmas update made the rage spell deal area damage. In addition, its area radius was decreased to 3 tiles from 5 tiles. Was it fast? Let me repeat. In a later update, Supercell made the Rajaspelto deal area damage. In addition, its area radius was decreased to 3 tiles from 5 tiles. It's green, it's ugly, it's nasty, get out of this zone before you become a goblin. The Goblin Curse is one of 2 spells that can turn troops into other troops, the other being Party Rocket. When the spell is deployed, a whispering voice will say "Baby Goblin" and laugh. Did you hear this noise? I feel something is moving next to me. Creepy. The suspicious bush was simply a decorative element, however, it became a meme within the community. Moving to the 3 Elixir cards. The Knight's mustache in Clash Royale is not just for show, it's a playful nod to the classic trope of mustache knights in fantasy settings. Additionally, in-game lore suggests that the knight believes his mustache grants him extra strength and bravery, which is why he charges into battle with such confidence. Another great card are the Archers. The Archers are featured in non-Clash games as a monster, in Puzzles and Dragons. Also, they were featured in Squad Busters. Look up, it's minions. In Clash of Clans, their projectile comes from their mouths. However, in Clash Royale, it comes from their fists instead. The minions seem to build up dark elixir from their hands and throw it at their enemies once the ball is big enough. Use arrows to counter minions. By the end of 2019, the arrow spell underwent a big update. Its damage was reduced by 58%, but the number of volleys increased from 1 to 3. 1 second, what's this? Building generating Larrys. In 2016, Supercell decreased the tombstone skeleton spawned upon death to 4 from 6. After 2 years, Supercell decided to decrease the skeleton spawned upon death to 3, and in 2021, it also made it to spawn 2 skeletons per wave. Cannon is another low-cost building. It was released in 2016, and it used to cost 6 elixirs, but Supercell changed it to 3 on February 2016 after 1 month of its release. Out of all cards whose elixir cost was changed, the cannon has had the largest change in elixir. Minions called their big brother, Mega Minion. When the Mega Minion was first introduced in Clash Royale, it was so overpowered that it could take down a P.E.K.K.A. by itself in just a few hits. To balance it out, Supercell eventually reduced its damage output in a later update, ensuring it could no longer single-handedly eliminate heavy tanks like the P.E.K.K.A. I remember I have deleted the game for 3 months when Mega Minion was released. Supercell listened to their community, and they given them tons of Larrys. In 2016, this card used to spawn 21 cards. The skeletons would spawn on top of the river, even in enemy territory, and it used to cost for elixirs. By end of 2016, Supercell came back to their senses, and nerfed Skarmy so bad decreased from 21 to 16 and cost from 4 elixirs to 3. After many balance changes, this card is now a fair card with 15 skeletons for 3 elixirs. Subscribe. Imagine all skeletons have a shield. The guards are tied with skeletons and bats for the lowest hit points in the game. However, unlike the other 2, they also come with a shield. What if I can throw goblins to your face? Goblin Barrel used to deal damage upon impact, but in mid-2016, Supercell decreased its cost to 3 elixirs from 4 elixir and removed its impact damage. Like Skarmy for Larry, we have Goblin Gang for Gizmo. In 2017, Goblin Gang were 3 goblins plus 3 spear goblins, but 1 spear goblin was captured by Larry. Hence, they became 3 plus 2, and in 2022, goblins were able to free that spear goblin and put him back in the gang to be 3 plus 3. Another great goblin card comes in. He spits, he's fast, he's the Dart Goblin. He's the fastest shooting card in Clash Royale. It's almost impossible to stop him from spitting at least 1 time. She's hot, she's pretty, she's the princess. The princess was one of the first legendary cards to be added to the game, alongside the Ice Wizard. The princess is the only card in Clash Royale that can be placed opposite to your opponent's lane and still effectively deal damage. One of the best counters for the princess is the Miner. The Miner has a legendary reputation for being the card that keeps getting nerfed, leading to a popular meme in the community known as the Nerf Miner meme. Players jokingly predicted that every balance update would result in a nerf for the Miner, regardless of its actual performance. The community's love-hate relationship with the Miner makes it one of the most memorable cards in Clash Royale history. Miner is a cure for Firecracker. Speaking of which, by far the most annoying card in Clash Royale. From Thiefercracker's description, it is implied that the firecracker used to be an archer. The firecracker was inspired by Penna from Brawl Stars, another Supercell game. Hogta Point 6 deck is amazing with Earthquake. Unlike its Clash of Clans counterpart, the Earthquake in Clash Royale is able to damage ground troops and has no damage penalty or bonuses with repeated uses. It's getting cold again. When the Ice Wizard is deployed, a small pile of snow is left behind him before he starts to move. Likewise, when he walks, a snow crunching sound effect is played. The Wizard and Ice Wizard are revealed to be cousins. Are you afraid of ghosts? The Royal Ghost is inspired by Theghost of Hamlet's father from the theatrical play Hamlet by William Shakespeare. The Royal Ghost is the father of the both kings. Keep your money close, because bandit will come and steal them. The bandit will whistle before dashing and often says ha. When attacking, legends say that the Dark Prince is her secret boyfriend. Who ordered pizza? Delivery arrived. The royal delivery was designed after a concept which involved a bomb. It was also called Bone Bomb, and it would involve a bomb that would explode after a short time. After the bomb exploded, two guards would spawn. Why does the Barbarian Barrel switch teams when hit by the Monk's ability, but the Royal Delivery doesn't? A card made of elixirs. Oh yes, it's Elixir Golem. The Elixir Golem first made an appearance in an April Fool's image that Supercell posted in a tweet, showing an 8v8 battle. One of my favorite spells, the Tornado. The original concept for the Tornado was a butterfly spell that was used for distracting troops. However, it was replaced with the Tornado due to visual problems. Did you know that you can get to golems, to Pekkas, to giant skellies in same place? Yes, it's the clone. Clone is the only spell that cannot affect buildings. However, you can have a clone building via cannon card. Another amazing spell is the Void. While in most games the Void is described absorbing the targets, this Void instead strikes the target like zap. The Void was made on accident by the Evolved Wizard, Ice Wizard, and Electro Wizard. Did I mention the moving tornado? The fisherman's name is Maurice as said by his Fish and Flood trailer. However, in the Japanese language setting of the game, his name is Trident. In early 2019, a balance update decreased the fisherman's cost to 3 Elixir S from 4 elixirs. An emerging king is coming. The Little Prince may be a reference to a novel, The Little Prince, by a French author named Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. The Little Prince is the cheapest Estampillon Drac, costing 3 elixir, yet has the most expensive ability, costing 3 elixir. Larry wants to have fun with his friends, so they have created a flying party. The skeleton barrel loses 1 balloon for each third of its total hit points depleted. Cloned skeleton barrel does not follow this rule, however, and always has 3 balloons. These balloons do not regenerate if the skeleton barrel is healed up. Now going to the 4 elixirs cards. The Musketeer card be a reference to the 4th Musketeer in the novel The Three Musketeers, D'Artagnan, who was never considered to be in the group. One of the fans' favorite cards, the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Before the Mini P.E.K.K.A.'s card release, Mini P.E.K.K.A. was supposed to be Anna Pickard, however, he was changed to Error card. Do you go to gym and skip leg days? If you do, you're like the Goblin Brawler. The Goblin Brawler is inspired by a Goblin prisoner character in the Clash Royale. The tattoo on Goblin Brawler's back appears to be a healer, a troop from Clash of Clans. Poison or Fireball, which one is better? On 2022, the Fireball's pushback effect resets the Inferno Dragon, giving it a big improvement over Poison. Moving to another great card. The Valkyrie is featured as a skin for Archer Queen in Clash of Clans. One day, barbarians had an idea to run with a wood on their heads. Battle Ram is the only barbarian-related card to not have the word barbarian in its name. According to a Clash Royale, the barbarians follow a career path, with the ones on the Battle Ram being the second lowest ranking ones. Barbarians have accidentally opened a time portal, which made skeleton dragons to come to our world. The skeleton dragons were designed after a scrapped concept of a singular skeleton dragon that would attack with a bomb. Did you know that the bomb tower's cost was decreased to 5 elixir from 6 elixir? Another amazing building that requires lots of skills, the mortar. On 2016, certain content creators were given a different version of the mortar that attacked by shooting goblin barrels instead of boulders. This was later implemented with the mortar's evolution, speaking of which it's the first building cards to receive a card evolution. Did you hear this sound? Hog Rider is by far the most famous card among the Clash community. The Hog Rider is featured as a character skin for Carlin Brawl Stars. A sniper-like card was released in 2019. It's the Flying Machine. The Flying Machine's creator is the Master Builder, a character from Clash of Clans builder base. He is also the one piloting the Flying Machine. His legs can be seen sticking out of the Flying Machine. Now it's the turn for the cutest card in Clash. Before the release, the dragon from Clash of Clans was originally planned to be in Clash Royale. However, due to dragon's wings being too large that covers a great part of the battlefield, it was replaced by the baby dragon. Did you know that the Dark Prince's horse was so small that he couldn't jump over the river? It was till 2022 when Supercell decided to grant him the ability to jump over the river.
So you must keep your eyes open at all times.
I need a doctor or a nurse. The battle healer is the only winged troop that is not actually flying. There's a loading screen hint that says the battle healer's older sister can heal entire villages. This might be a reference to the healer in Clash of Clans. Can you all freeze? Freeze was a spell with no damage, till 2020, when Supercell decided that Rage and Freeze would deal damage to towers and troops. Another amazing spell is the Poison. The Poison resembles the real-life chemicalbumin, a halogen that is a rapidly evaporating red-orange liquid just like the Poison. Now going to Tesla, the card's name references Nikola Tesla. The way Tesla coil transmits electricity appears similar to how the Tesla attack. The Tesla and the Sparky are the only cards associated with electricity that don't stun. However, the Tesla's evolution changed it, as the pulse from revealing itself will cause it to stun any troop nearby. Another cool stunning card is the Zappies. Zappies are the only non-legendary or champion troop to fall from the sky when deployed. Turn on the AC. The furnace resembles masonry ovens, typically used for baking artisan bread and pizza. However, in Clash Royale, the furnace bakes fire spirits. One of the most underrated cards, Hunter. The Hunter is likely inspired visually from Brawl Stars. The Hunter was reskinned as Shelly in the Heist mode. Did I mention Baby Dragon's brother? The Inferno Dragon has the highest hit points of all air targeting troops. The Baby Dragon, Electro Dragon, and Inferno Dragon are brothers. The Electro Wizard was the first card to be introduced in the game through a challenge. Along with the Knight, Barbarians, and Lumberjack, he is voice acted by John Mondelli. What's this beautiful bird in the sky? The Phoenix is the only card in the game that can revive itself. The Phoenix can take up the Dagger Duchess by itself. Another magical card, not quite a wizard, nor an archer. He shoots a magic arrow that passes through and damages all enemies in its path. It's not a trick, it's magic. Back to the goblins. The goblin drill is inspired by a drill used by goblins to steal elixir. The goblin drill is the only building that can be deployed on the opponent's side. Goblin drill can be countered by the raged lumberjack. The lumberjack is the only troop that drops a spell upon dying, when deployers can be seen drinking from his bottle. It's getting late, and witches are coming out. Night Witch was so overpowered when she was released, then Supercell nerfed her quickly to keep the balance in the game. Another for elixirs which comes in, the Mother Ugly Witch. The Mother Witch is based on Circe, a Greek witch that appeared in Homer's Odyssey epic. Calling all for elixirs champions, Skeleton King, Golden Knight, Mighty Miner. He shares a name with one-off Barbarian King skins from Clash of Clans. They both summon troops for their ability, but the Skeleton King summons skeletons instead. On April 28, 2022, the number of Skeleton King's ability activations was 130 for 1,193,784. A warrior with luxurious hair and outstanding flexibility. Demonstrates his aerobic skills on demand. On April 28, 2022, the number of Golden Knight's ability activations was 121,809,540. Walk softly and carry a big drill. This champion deals increasing damage to his target and can switch lanes to escape combat or change attack plans. On April 28, 2022, the number of Mighty Miner's ability activations was 732,965,024. A new mechanic was introduced in Clash Royale with the Goblin Demolisher.
Especially on the dance floor.
The Goblin Demolisher is the only troop in the game to have a lifetime implemented into its mechanics. The dynamite used by the Goblin Demolisher is the same held by the evolved Wall Breakers. The Goblin Demolisher appears to be wearing the same barrel used by the Goblin Barrel.